Welcome to Agency Snapshot. In this video, I'm going to walk you through a brief demonstration of Agency Snapshot and how it can help your agency. The idea behind our system is to create an initial overview or snapshot of your agency. Once we have that in our system, it allows you to quickly and easily see the effects of any type of what-if scenario you're contemplating for your agency. We'll demonstrate that in the video as well. Want to see what your cash flow and expected sales look like if you scale up marketing? What if you hire more staff? We got you covered. Since we're going to move through the areas of the program pretty quickly, I want to let you know that nearly every input field in Agency Snapshot has a detailed FAQ for additional help. You can access them by clicking the FAQ link here on the left. Let's get started. This is what the dashboard currently looks like in Agency Snapshot. So when you log into the system for the first time, it'll be blank. So what you need to do is click the green Create New button here at the top to create your first snapshot. You can designate a current snapshot once you have multiple ones listed here. You can check the little box here, and you can have this blue label appear as your current snapshot. So I'm going to click the Edit button, and that's going to take us into the first page here. So we'll move through these tabs, and like I mentioned, every field has an FAQ. So if you have any questions on how to figure out a certain commission rate or what to input, check out the FAQs, and it'll have the answers in there. So for starters, in this example, we're going to say it's an all-state agency, and we want to collect your book of business renewal metrics. Keep in mind that this does work for State Farm, for brokers, for anybody. So any renewal income that you receive for your agency, we're going to want to itemize out here. So in this example, we'll say it's an all-state book, 10 million at 9%. Advantage, if you broker policies through multiple companies, you can do a blended or average commission rate here. Again, we walk people through how to figure that out. You can add additional lines here. You can remove lines. So if this snapshot, once you have something set up in your agency, is to run a scenario of a book of business purchase, you could add a new book of business as a line item here, add in the loan details here, and you can quickly see what that agency looks like if you buy it at a certain price, once you input marketing expenses and things like that. But for starters, we'll just say that this is the current makeup of our agency. So input all of the renewal metrics here. Now let's go on to office expenses. Again, pretty straightforward. Currently, the system requires you to input the monthly amount here. We are working on a fix to have an annualized amount be able to be inputted. The reason being, the data that we're getting here, most people are going to be getting from a P&L, from their accountant, their CPA, QuickBooks if you do it yourself, whatever, and that's how we recommend doing it. In the interest of time, if you know your expenses are $10,000 a month, you could simply delete every line, put it as one line item, and move on to the next thing. If you're getting this information from a P&L, you'll want to make sure that you're backing out loans, marketing, and staffing from that number. As you work through Agency Snapshot, we highly recommend itemizing everything out. Even people like me who are obsessed with numbers and look at this stuff all day, I still find stuff within my agency that I cut back on and remove if you're not using it, and itemizing things out forces you to know your numbers on a deeper level. So in the interest of time, for an initial setup, feel free to do it as one line item, but ultimately you're going to want to itemize your expenses out. The black boxes here are category headers. So you'll see utilities, insurance, subscriptions. When you log into the system for the first time, it's going to have these defaults here. You can rename them, you can delete things, you can add categories. If you own your building, you can choose the own toggle here, and then unique expenses to property owners will populate down there for you as well. Again, pretty straightforward. First we collected the renewal premium. Now we have some general office expenses. Now we want to move on to the loans tab. So the loans, any debt you have on your agency can be input on this page. Simply enter the loan name, the loan amount, the interest rate, the start date, and the years to pay. If you have variable rate loans or commercial real estate loan, you'll want to input these here as well. If it is variable, check out our FAQ. We walk you through exactly how to input that here. And again, like I said in the beginning, this is a great place to contemplate a book of business purchase. So if you plugged in, say, a $3 million book of business here, you could say, I'm buying it for whatever amount. Here's my loan amount. You can run that scenario to see if that makes sense for your agency. The first three tabs, again, pretty self-explanatory. Now let's move on to marketing. So any cost that you have for your agency for marketing, you're going to want to input here. So if you're buying data leads, if you're buying live transfers, if you're doing direct mail, any marketing you do that has a cost that we can quantify, you're going to want to put on this page here. So when you come in for the first time, it'll just say enter number of leads. So in this example, let's say it's 125 leads. They cost me $3 a pop, and I do that every single day. It's going to put my monthly and annualized costs for that lead tactic here. Just like the prior screen, you can edit these labels, you can delete them, you can add lines. So if you have, auto leads with home filter, you'll want to include that as a line. If you're doing it for multiple companies, you're going to want to include each one of those campaigns as a line. Because what we're going to do on the next couple pages is we're going to analyze these leads and figure out our commission projections based off of our certain sale rates and items for sale and all those things for those marketing tactics. Things like referral business, organic growth, call-ins, walk-ins, there's another spot to include that on. So just be patient for that here. On to lead analysis. So the first thing that we ask for is your mix ratio of new business premium. So we want to know how much of your new business is auto on a 6-month basis and how much is anything other than auto on a 12-month basis. This allows us to differentiate commission levels between those types of policies and the 12-month policies, and it allows us for one of our other modules here on the left to annualize your 6-month policies to help calculate expected results. So your marketing tactics here. So we have ALM data leads, we have live transfers auto. Over here, you'll notice ALM data leads, live transfers auto. So in this example, there's just two lead campaigns. If you had 8, you would have 8 sections here. And we always like to tell people on this page, like, it looks like a lot of data. Keep in mind that any of these gray boxes are automatically calculated by Agency Snapshot. The only inputs that you have to do are in these white boxes here. So we ask for your sale rate, your items per sale, and your premium per item. Again, if you don't have that information, we walk you through how to get it. Hopefully you're using a robust lead management system that helps you get this virtually instantaneously, but if not, we got you covered. So what this page is really designed for is saying, okay, we're buying this many leads. Here's my sale rates and our premium per items. What can I expect from this lead tactic? So you'll notice, based off of those 125 leads a day there, this is how many sales we're going to write. This is how many items we're going to write. And this is the premium that we can expect from that tactic. So this is very useful if you say, well, what if I want to increase my leads? What if I work with my team and work on intro and closing objections, and we hammer that harder, we bump up our sale rate by a 1/10 of a percentage? You can model and cash flow all those types of scenarios right here on one page. It's all in one place. You're going to do that for each lead tactic. And then we go on to the sales projections tab. So the sum of your marketing tactics is right here. So based off of the amount of leads that you're buying or direct mail or whatever you're doing, based off of your unique sale rates and premium per item, this is how much we're writing from our marketing tactics here. New business organic growth. So this is anything typically that your hybrids or CSRs or people that aren't really participating in live transfers, leads, marketing, stuff like that. This is just kind of an average amount that those people write collectively each month in new business to give us our total amount of expected sales right here. So there's 2 ways that you can look at sales, and I'm going to walk you through both of them, and this screen allows you to do it either way. The first accounts for terminations. So in this example, if our office is writing $78,000 in new business a month, let's just say we terminate 25,000, our net is 53. So if we do 78 minus 25 gets us our net new. Running this scenario when you're kind of backing out the terminations is going to give you the most conservative snapshot. If you wanted to run a snapshot where you're truly just looking at, if I write 78,000, how much am I going to make on that? All you have to do is either leave this blank, or for your terminated commission rate, which is really your renewal commission for your book of business, you could just do zeros. So you could do that for either case here. So basically everything above this blue line is what you get paid on the premium equal to your terminated premium, if you're accounting for that. So if you don't want to account for it, it's not going to include that. So everything below the line is what you get paid on the premium that's above what you terminate. So the balance, the 53,000. This is where the magic happens. This is where when you cross that threshold of replacing your terminations, things become a lot more lucrative for you, right? Because you're not backing out that commission rate. You're just on top. It's all growth at that point. This is where, if you want to buy another 50 leads a day or hire another telemarketer, this is where things really become exciting for your agency. Now, granted, if you're going the route where you are accounting for termination, so you do want to include that, this doesn't take into account, endorsement premiums that generally go up over time. Property dwelling coverages add to your premium over time, right? So this is probably going to be the most conservative way, but it's how I recommend looking at your agency. For the new business commission rate, check out our FAQs on that. If your company varies between line item or company or bundle or all these crazy criteria, we make it pretty simple to figure out what your average rate is. So check out the FAQ and this will make sense. The next page here is bonus. So if you receive an annual bonus, you can include that here. You can choose the frequency, monthly, quarterly, semi-annually. If you're an Allstate agent, this is how we figure out your first renewal variable comp on auto. Again, check out the FAQ on that. Any short-term promotion, any type of bonus that you receive from the companies you work with, you can include on this page. Staffing. So the next tab and the final tab is staffing, right? So we have the owner, you plug in the name of the staff, their location, the department. Anybody that you designate as owner will be added back into your cash flow, which I'll show you here once we get to the final snapshot and hit submit. Because if you're paying yourself $60,000 a year in a salary, that's not really money going out. That's coming back to you, but we account for the payroll tax you likely pay on that down here. You can choose the pay rate, hourly, semi-monthly, etc. These columns is to help you figure out your staff's commission. So what we ask for is the percent of total office sales. So how much is hybrid number one doing of your agency's production? We ask that because most agencies have a tiered commission scale. So if you're selling a higher amount to the agency, you're going to be at a higher rate. Someone selling 15% is probably going to be at a lower commission rate. So this allows the system to account for that. You can include anything else in other monthly if you want to include benefits. Some agents pay a flat dollar amount per item and things like that. Any other costs that you pay your employees can be included here. Now, what Agency Snapshot is going to do is add up how much of this number, of the 78,000 that we know your agency is going to write, 45% of that is this amount. So you're going to be able to see the expected results per staff based off of your data. Then it's going to calculate their estimated commission to give you that staff's total monthly and total annualized cost. When we plug in your payroll tax rate down here, it gives us a dollar amount for your total staffing expense. So this page is really helpful if you want to use it as a training opportunity for staff. It helps you identify staff that are underperforming or maybe overpaid. If you want to add staff, remove staff, scale up, scale down, this page has all of your staffing information in one place with your numbers to make those decisions. So once we've plugged in our information on our first snapshot, we hit submit, and it's going to take us to our snapshot. So if you included bonus, you'll notice there's this little bonus toggle here. It puts that into your monthly cash flow. So what I mean by that is if you put a $120,000 bonus in there, it's going to say, okay, $120,000 bonus divided by 12 months gives you $10,000 a month in cash flow. So you can toggle this on or off, and you'll notice that it removes it from your monthly cash flow here. So if you input a bonus, even on your final snapshot here, you have the opportunity to toggle that on and off. We summarize your renewal cash flow for you down here for your book of business. Your new business cash flow is summarized here, and your total agency owner cash flow. And what that is basically the sum of your renewal cash flow, your new business cash flow, the bonus, if that's toggled on. If it's toggled off, it removes it from here as well. The owner salary that I mentioned gets added back in for your total cash flow. Then down here at the bottom, it summarizes your marketing tactics and everything related to marketing in your agency, how many sales, how many items, the premium for each one of those. Again, so it's all in one place for you. So once you've created your first snapshot, this is where the fun really starts to happen, because now you have your agency as it stands today. Okay, so our total cash flow is $40,794 as it stands right now. So let's run a scenario of what this looks like if we make some changes. So what you do is you come over here to your dashboard, click the little copy icon, and it's going to clone everything that we just did in that snapshot. Let's run a scenario here. So let's just say we want to add another telemarketer. So we're going to increase that by 1. And let's buy another 50 leads per day. So let's change that to here. One note on that as well. I didn't mention this earlier, but if your amount of leads for any given tactic varies per day, use the monthly frequency. and just figure out your average. So if on average you buy 3,000 a month from this vendor or something like that, use the monthly, and that eliminates the daily variance issue. So in this scenario, we added one telemarketer, we added 50 leads a day. The cost to do that is about $4,200 per month. But let's take a look at our cash flow. I'll toggle bonus off, 40,581. So even though we're spending more because of the commission that we're making and the metrics unique to our agency, our cash flow is really about the same. So it's a pretty powerful tool to be able to run those scenarios, because I think a lot of people get hung up on, I'm already spending so much money on marketing, I don't want to spend more. But when you have your numbers, your specific like your sale rates and premium per item and all that stuff in one system, it's not always as expensive as you think. Or in this case, by doing that, it's really about the same. So that's one scenario you could run. What if you come in here and you want to add more staff? You can do things like that. You can contemplate those book purchases. This module of Agency Snapshot is really designed to be used so that anytime there's any change you're contemplating in your agency, you can run that snapshot or scenario. Every time your book of business changes, which is likely on a monthly basis, when you get your reports, you're going to want to update these numbers. As office expenses change, you update that. You know, as loan things may change, you update that. Anytime anything changes, you quickly come in here, you make the adjustment, you save your snapshot, you can see in real time what your snapshot looks like. You can see your cash flow, you can see your monthly written premium, you can see your sales, your items, everything's all in one place. And that's the first module of Agency Snapshot. Now that we've created our first snapshot, the next tool we want to show you is our monthly planning tool. So on the left-hand navigation column here, you'll see monthly planning. So we click on that. If you're an Allstate agent, we can track points. So if you're not an Allstate agent, check this here and it'll untoggle points. For Allstate agents, the first time you use the system, you'll come in, you'll plug in your points per item so that Agency Snapshot can calculate how many you're at month to date. This tool is designed to be used halfway through the month, at the end of the month, and then if you really want to know your numbers and know all the details of everything, or if you're chasing a promotion or bonus or something like that, I've used this many, many times every single day. And here's how it works. So you look at how many items of each line of business that you've issued. So let's just say today's the 10th of the month. You come in, you say we've done 175 autos. If you're an Allstate agent, Agency Snapshot will calculate the points, and here's how much premium we've done for that line. And you'll repeat this process for every line of business that you've done. This whole process takes like 3 minutes, so it doesn't take very long. Basically, what this does is it allows us to calculate your total items, points, and premium per month, and then we're going to compare it to your terminations down below. Additionally, if you have any other lines of business or state-specific things that you want to include, you can simply add more lines here and delete them if you have stuff that you don't want to track. So what we do here is we're going to compare how much premium we've issued on an annualized basis. And what I mean by that is if you're writing 6-month auto policies, we're going to double this first line, and then we're going to add in everything other than auto here. So theoretically, we're up 223K in new business for our book of business. However, we know that we terminate premium too. So what we do is we ask you to run a termination audit, and we help you calculate using our FAQs exactly how much annualized premium you've terminated at whatever point of the month this is. What we do then down below is we say, okay, we've done 223K new business, we've terminated this much. Here's our theoretical net premium. So things like endorsements, rate increases, property dwelling coverages going up over time, things like that we can't really track. But on a strictly premium issued versus premium terminated business, here's where we stand. If you're an Allstate agent and you want to track points, in our resources section off to the left here, there is an Excel formula that you plug into your termination audit, and we will help you track at any point during the month, whether it's the 5th, the 25th, or whatever, how many points you've terminated at whatever day of the month that is, month to date. Very powerful if you're chasing bonus and you're trying to maximize your points. You do not have to wait an entire month for the portfolio growth detail report to come out. You can simply plug this formula into your termination audit and it calculates it for you. So This is basically designed to keep yourself on pace, to hold your staff accountable. So if these numbers, whenever you're running this, aren't what you want to see, or it's not enough to hit your goals for the year, month, quarter, whatever, make adjustments. Use it as a training opportunity for your staff. Buy more leads, ramp up your marketing, do whatever you need to do. But you have the information right here to see how you're doing on a net basis after accounting for your terminations. The next module over here is the estimated versus actual results. What this does is on a 12-month moving basis, meaning it's always going to display the most recent 12 months worth of data. So when the newest month comes on, the oldest month over here drops off. What this does is you're going to use the monthly planning tool that we just talked about, and based off of whatever that net number is at the end of the month when you do it, you're going to say, theoretically, I should grow, in the case we just did, about 100K per month, and you would plug that in here. In this example, we'll say we thought we were going to grow $45,000 in the month of February. What you then would do is compare your book of business size this month to whatever it was last month. And what that's going to do is say, okay, I thought I was going to grow 45, but when I compared my two reports, I'm actually only up 10. So that's 35,000 less than what I was expecting. And if you're an Allstate agent, you can do the same thing for your points here. You can toggle it off if you're not an Allstate agent by clicking here. What this does is it gives you the peace of mind and the fortitude to keep going when we have those gut-wrenching months when you had the best month of your career, things are going awesome, you sold more than you ever have, and then you get your reports the following month and you shrunk, or you just didn't grow very much at all, or something like that. We have all had these months, and it's really difficult to kind of push through that, especially for your staff. So this gives you the data to see on a 12-month moving basis how off you are from what you thought was going to happen and what actually happened. And something unique and kind of interesting about this, on my size book, which is about $18 million in premium, my running total difference over 18 months, so even more data, is about 50K. So it really does even out over time. Our users that use this say the same thing. It really does kind of even out. So it gives you the mental stamina to keep going when your reports don't line up with what you thought were going to happen. Allstate agents, you can track how many points you've issued on average per month, how many points you've terminated, and then everybody, annualized premium issued, annualized premium terminated. And where you're going to get that from, again, is by using the monthly planning tool, because we're going to use that annualized number. So we're looking at all policies basically on a 12-month basis, because we want to know what our books are going to do over time. So down below here, it's going to sum up over those 12 months what your average points issued are. If you're an Allstate agent, average points terminated, premium issued, and premium terminated. And what you can use this for is to, again, make quick decisions in your agency. So if you know you issue 258K in annual premium per month, then you can use it and say, okay, it's the 10th of the month or a third of the way through. I'm way behind pace. What do I need to change? What do I need to do to stay on target? So historical data is very powerful. And then the last little module here is simply just a business tracker for your agency. Just like the other ones, it's a 12-month moving basis. So the newest data comes on, the oldest one drops off, and it's going to track for you your book of business premium, your loss ratio. And again, if you're an Allstate agent, it'll track your points. Puts it for you in a nice little graph down here. You can see your change from the prior month, your 12-month moving change, just to see how all these things are trending in your agency. So when you put all of these things together with Agency Snapshot, it gives you the power to make quick decisions, have the data you need to adjust and pivot if you need to, and it's all in one place. It's a one-stop shop where you can have all of your data, run your business, do things more efficiently, and maximize your profit. Our goal here is simple. Grow your agency, make more money, and run your business as efficiently as possible. So take control. Know your numbers. I promise you that using Agency Snapshot will make your life easier. Click below to sign up now or visit agencysnapshot.com/pricing.